Hey, thanks for stopping in. Hope all is good. Drop me a line. Let me know how everything is going. And if you get the notion, please click subscribe and share the video with friends. I would greatly appreciate it. So, we left off where Marie was going to give Marvin a call back in like 5 minutes. So she does call him back, and he wanted to know what friends were at my place, Marie says. I wanted him to think I really had a few guests over, not family as usual. I said back, you don't know them, but you'll have to meet them one day soon. Marie, well, what are their names? Marv asked. Marv, come on, why? That still wouldn't make you know who they are. They'll be leaving in about an hour. I have to talk about us not seeing each other often. Enough. With your lame ass excuses, I told him. He was like, girl, what are you talking about? I know I've been busy these days, but if it'll make you feel better or more at ease, we can talk until the sun comes up. I thought to myself, he could be so full of shit, and it seemed like he was getting more and more full of it. I just said, I'll call you back in a few. I returned to my kitchen table where Mama and Aunt Kate were eating honeydew melon. I asked them if they had heard that they, men, or something else was the look they both gave me. I told them a bit more about the story of what was going on. I tried to give Marv the benefit of the doubt. With him running a prostitution house, he was still a father and a grandfather. He tried to do the boyfriend thing right, but it seemed to just be his way. Being a player was in his nature, a big baller. Monica had come out of the bathroom and had put on a pair of pajamas. Mama said, let's ride down the avenue and see what's going on. So we always get excited over doing this. We did it once or twice a week, riding down the avenue, just looking at people act a fool and trying to be cool. From there we proceed down and ride by the boardwalk and the beach, see what was going on there. We'd see some of the stupidest and funniest stuff going on. Sometimes we'd be almost hysterical with laughter or just entertained. I told Monica, put on your flip-flops, run, go get Taz, tell her to come on, and don't forget to get Mama and Aunt Kate's pocketbooks. The girl was going in a flash across the yard. While she went to do that, us older girls made our way out to Mama's car. Taz and Monica came out the door with the pocketbooks. Taz locked the back door and off we went. While we were riding, I had to admit, I was thinking about Marv and Anthony. I had a little history with Marv, and I was thinking, if I thought there was a chance of a satisfying future with him, I wouldn't even consider another man. But somewhere inside, I must have known this wasn't really about to happen. He had asked me to move to Boston with him, but his business wasn't really a good environment for my daughter, and to be honest, for me either. Then, at the same time, Marv's a nice guy, just not quite legitimate. Then I tried to consider all Anthony had to offer, and leave out the fact that he was so fine. Weighing things out, Anthony would win because of how he made his living the honest way, not on the verge of being illegal. But then, there was one major problem here. Anthony hadn't asked me and my daughter to come and live with him. And he sure hadn't said anything about marriage. While I was doing all this thinking, I realized someone was talking to me. Oh wait, what did you say, Aunt Kate? My mind was 1,000 miles away for a few minutes. Aunt Kate repeated what she had said. After I answered her, I went back to thinking about Anthony and Marv. I decided all I could do was just play things by ear. Usually, Marv and I called each other almost every night. So after I got home, I was expecting my telephone to ring. But as time went on, I realized he wasn't calling me tonight. To be honest, it stung me a bit, but then I remembered I told him I'd call. Hell, he'd have excuses not to come visit, and for me to not come to his place. Meanwhile, Monica had taken her bath again before we had gone out for a ride. So when we got back, she showered off and sat in front of the television. I checked to make sure she was asleep. Then I went up to my pantry to get me a glass of vodka and some orange juice and put it on ice. I made myself a cold screwdriver on the box, took 2 or 3 sips, then I placed it in the refrigerator. Before settling down to relax and enjoy my drink, I took me a lukewarm bath. After finishing my quick bath, I got my drink out the refrigerator and went to my room, turning my television on, put the fan on low. Then I got to my bed that seemed to feel extra good tonight. It seemed like I'd had a long day. I'd taken a sip from my glass when the phone rang. It kind of startled me. My first thought was, it's Marvin. I answered it. It wasn't Marvin. Instead, it was Leia, calling to run her mouth for a few minutes. I finished my drink while I was on the telephone with her. Turned my television off, slept like a baby. I always woke up before the sun arose, so I'd done my housework by 10 o'clock. Leia came over around 11. Dave showed up around noon, and we were sitting on the porch with my stereo playing, having cocktails and lunch, laughing our asses off when a Cadillac pulled up in the driveway. We recognized the car right away. It was Marvin. I sure was not expecting to see this man. I played it cool as hell though. I stood up with my short shorts on and my tube top with my drink in my hand, and I strutted over to his car. We hugged and gave a nice but brief kiss before he greeted the others. By now my parents had come into the backyard, which was my front yard. We all hung out on the porch for a while. I went inside my kitchen, hoping Marvin would follow me, and he did. I told him I wanted to talk to him before the day was over. Afterwards, we went back outside and continued to socialize for a while longer. It wasn't too long after we'd gone back to the porch when my company had drifted home. Monica was now on my parents' front porch. So Marv and I sit on the porch and we discuss what was going on with him and with us. I got some answers, but still had questions that I didn't feel satisfied with the answer that I got. But somehow he really couldn't answer them. So I finally came out and asked, should we start seeing other people? Well, his nostrils flared. Where the fuck did that idea come from? He asked. Well, you couldn't answer some questions, and I don't know, and I don't want you to feel as though you're being put on the spot. I'm trying to make it easy for you, I stated. Do you want to see somebody else? He asked me. I told him to be honest. I feel as though you don't have time or want to make time for me. Yeah, it's hard to be in 2 places at once sometimes. And yes, sometimes I can't make it down here. And yes, again, I don't ask you to come up there too much because I feel as though I wouldn't be doing right to have you up there when I'm busy, he told me. You wouldn't have to entertain me, but I do miss you at times, I told him. He then went on to say, well, if I remember correctly, I asked you to come and live with me. But I don't want to live with a man, but also I want to be sure before or if I remarry. That's why I said no. Not because I don't have feelings for you. You know what I mean? I told him, yeah, I know what you mean. You're going to get some nigga that's ready to get married, he said. That's not what I meant. You know it, I told him. I can't believe I came down here to hear this mess. Let's take a break and relax for a while, Marv said. And so we did. He walked over to visit my family, and I went inside to call my girlfriend. Sometimes you do have to confront the situation and ask and answer questions to see where we stand. The question is, when you ask those questions, will you get the answers that you like, or the answers that you're hoping for? So we're gonna stop here for now. Again, I thank you for joining in. I hope you have a great week. I wish you well. I wish you blessings, along with love and peace. Again, if you feel like clicking